Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Wildcard. So Wildcard stars Jason Statham, and what this film is about, it's about this guy named Nick Wilde, and he is a former addict of gambling, and one of his friends gets beaten and stuff, and she wants him to go out and get revenge and, help her get revenge as well on this guy. So yeah. So what did I think of Wildcard? It was an okay movie. I mean, this was not a bad movie. This is definitely better than some of the other films I've been seeing as of late. But at the same time, it's not really that good either. It's just okay. So let's get into my positives. I do have a few positives with this film. And that is Jason Statham. I mean, Jason Statham is always enjoyable in his films. I mean, there's never a time where I find Jason Statham bad. Like, the movie could be bad, but he could still at least be enjoyable in the movie. So yeah, I enjoyed him in this movie. He was enjoyable. Some of the action, there's not that much action in this film. We'll get that more into the negatives, but when the action does come, it was cool. I enjoyed it, especially towards the end where they have the final fight scene. That was great. It really was. The gambling scenes, there's a bit of like him gambling in this movie, and I like that. Those were the best parts to me. Him doing the whole gambling thing. I was interested in that the entire time. I liked the whole gambling thing about the film. When he was doing the whole gambling thing, that was my favorite part of the film. The pacing of the film. The pacing is great. It gets from point A to point B, and I love that. It doesn't slow down. It gets from point A to point B. I love that. It just does not slow down. It gets from point A to point B. Love it. The dialogue between Jason Statham and this other guy that this other guy wants him to be his bodyguard when he's gambling and stuff, and I like their back and forth, so I did enjoy that. I did like the directing with this film. The directing was pretty good with this film, This is directed by Simon West, who directed The Expendables 2 and Con Air, which were both films I enjoyed. So yeah, he did a pretty good job directing this film. Now let's get into my negatives. I do have a few negatives, and my negatives are some of the acting in this film is not good. It really isn't. And also, the actors that they get into this movie, they waste completely. Like, they get Sofia Vergara, Jason Alexander, Stanley Tucci. They're barely in the film. And you're like, what? You guys are in the main credits. Sofia Vergara was in the trailer and everything, and this is, like, you guys are barely in the film. And, like, what? And overall, the acting, some of the other actors, like, the guy that he is protecting, he was okay. The woman that that's trying to get revenge, she wasn't that good. And the guys that played the villains, like, they were so over the top. They really were. I thought their acting was so bad. They were so over the top. The writing with this film, the writing's not that good. It really isn't. I felt like the writing wasn't really that good with this film. The villains were just generic and terrible. They really were. They were very, very bad actors. They really were. I just really thought they were very, very bad in this film. Like, they were so over the top. I feel like whenever they didn't do any of the game, because I felt like you could focus this film more on the gambling stuff than this plot instead of this revenge plot, because that's what I just think. That's another negative. I wish they would focus more on the gambling stuff, you know what I'm saying? Instead of this revenge plot that you needed to put in here. I just thought they should have done that instead. There isn't enough action in this film. Now, am I saying there has to be action every 5 seconds? Of course not. But when you're in your trailers promoting this film as an all-out action film, I should expect a little bit more action than this 3 action scenes. There's literally 3 action scenes in this movie. You know? So yeah, and the first one was okay. It was just a bunch of slow motion, which, you know, I'm not too, you know, I don't really like too much slow motion action stuff, so yeah. So yeah, overall, those are just my negatives, so yeah. So overall, Wild Card was just an okay film. I didn't think it was a good movie. Certainly not a bad movie, in my opinion, but it was just okay. So it's time for my official grade on Wild Card. And my official grade on Wild Card is a C+. This was an okay movie. Wish it could have been a lot better than it was. So yeah, it's getting a C+. So what did you guys think of Wild Card? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.